Horror Chronicles. Lower the lights and let's begin. A woman is running barefoot through a sugarcane field at midnight. Her sandals are gone. Her breath is tearing. There is blood on her clothes, and none of it is hers. Ahead of her, rising out of the dark like a ship, stand the walls of her father's haveli, the house she was raised in, the only refuge left in the world. She reaches the iron gates and hammers on them with both fists and screams one sentence into the sleeping courtyard. "They killed him! They killed them both!" And somewhere above her, in the highest window of the house, a lamp is already burning because someone inside is awake. Someone inside has been waiting up for this exact knock. Hold that image. Now let me take you back 3 days. When we left Meera, she had said, yes. The tale is careful about the journey home, almost tender with it, the way you are tender with something you know you are about to break. The long train north through the winter fog. Kabir, 5 years old, kneeling at the window for 11 hours straight because his mother had told him about the fields, the peacocks, the house with 100 rooms, and he wanted to see the exact moment the city ended. Santosh, quiet, turning his wedding ring, telling himself that 6 years is a long time, that fathers grow old, that pride cools. And Meera, watching the landscape of her childhood assemble itself outside the glass, feeling something she decided to call hope, because the other name for it was too frightening. The welcome was perfect. That is the first thing the tale wants you to notice. Her mother came down the steps of the haveli with her arms open and wept into Meera's hair, and the weeping was real. And that is the most terrible detail in this entire story. There was a feast that night, lamps in every archway, the good silver, the smell of ghee and wood smoke. Vikram embraced Santosh in front of the whole household and called him brother. The old Thakur himself, grayer now, took his grandson onto his lap and fed him sweets with his own hand. And Kabir, who feared nothing, laughed at this stranger's great white mustache and pulled it. But underneath the perfection, small notes rang wrong, and Meera heard every one of them and told herself she hadn't. The servants would not meet her eyes, not out of anger, out of something that looked, if you caught it sideways, like pity. The family priest was summoned on the second morning to perform a purification rite over her, to cleanse her of the years away, and she knelt and accepted it, and did not let herself think too hard about what, precisely, was being washed off. And her old bedroom had been kept exactly as she left it 6 years before. Not one bangle moved, not one photograph turned, preserved like a museum or like a shrine. Houses keep shrines for the dead. On the third day, Vikram came to Santosh with his warmest smile and an offer wrapped in gold. The family wished to set things right properly, he said. A construction contract in the district town, land in Santosh's own name, a future, a place. The papers were ready at the registrar's office. Come with me Thursday morning, you and I, and we will sign, and this family will finally be whole. And then, as if the thought had only just occurred to him, he crouched down to Kabir's height and said, "And why not bring this little man along? Let him see the town. We will buy him whatever his heart names." Meera wanted to go. Her mother took her hands and would not release them. The women of the family were holding a ceremony that day, a thanksgiving for the daughter's return. And how would it look if the daughter herself were absent? "Stay, Betty. Let the men handle papers. They will be home before the lamps are lit." The tale slows down here. It always slows down here. It gives you the last ordinary morning in full, because it knows you will want it later. Kabir in a new kurta, too excited to eat, running twice back up the steps to kiss his mother. Santosh pausing at the car door, looking back at Meera, framed in the great archway of the house that had finally impossibly taken them in. The tale says he raised one hand. The tale says she was at something Kabir shouted out the window. The tale says the car turned out of the gates at 9 in the morning into the winter sunlight, and that was all. The lamps were lit at dusk. The men were not home. The ceremony ended, the guests left, and the house grew very quiet in a way that made the back of Meera's neck go cold. She was standing in the courtyard when a farm laborer came through the gates at a dead run, shouting for the thakur, and the words reached her in broken pieces. "The river bend! The old Banyan Road! An accident!" The car had gone off the embankment into the ravine, and it was burning, and no one, the man kept saying, no one could get down to it. No one could get near. What Meera did in the next hour, the tale does not describe, because there are no words that hold it. What it describes instead is a servant girl, 16 years old, who found Meera collapsed against the courtyard wall and knelt beside her as if to comfort her, and put her mouth against Meera's ear and whispered 5 sentences that changed everything. It was no accident. I carry the water to the east wing. I heard them planning it, the Thakur and Vikram Baya, 4 nights ago. They are not finished. Run. But Meera did not run away. This is the turn the tale sharpens like a blade. She ran toward, barefoot through the cane fields, through the dark, back to the gates, back to the one man in the world she still believed stood above his sons, the man who judged the village's disputes, the man whose word was justice for 100 square miles. She hammered on the gates. They opened. She flew up the stairs and burst into her father's room and fell at his feet and screamed it. They killed him. Vikram killed them. Father, your grandson was in that car. Give me justice. Thakur Raghuvir Singh looked down at his daughter for a long moment. Then he rose, walked to the window, and spoke with his back to her, in the calm voice of a man delivering a verdict he has already written. Justice, he said. You speak to me of justice. Look at what you are. 6 years with that man, his child carried in your body. His blood is in your blood now, Beti, swimming in your veins, and there is no fire, no priest, and no ceremony that can ever burn it out. You did not marry beneath you. You dissolved yourself. The daughter I raised died 6 years ago. Tonight we only make it official. He turned around. In his hands was a brass cup. Her mother stood in the doorway and did not speak, and did not move, and did not look away. And the Thakur set the cup down in front of his daughter and told her that there was one way, and only one way, left for this family to mourn her with honor. The tale does not say whether she fought. Different tellings disagree, and maybe that is the point. Maybe every woman who hears it fights, or doesn't, in her own way. All the tellings agree on the last thing Meera ever said, kneeling on the floor of her father's room with the cup before her, looking up at the man who had loved her like a flower. You loved me like a flower, she said. You should have remembered. Flowers grow back. By morning, the story the family told was smooth as river stone. A widow, mad with grief, who drank poison by her own hand. The village came to the funeral. The village said nothing. The village watched the Thakur light his daughter's pyre with a steady hand, and the village went home and locked its doors and waited, because the village had grown up on the old tales, and the village knew what the family had forgotten. There are rules about how a woman dies, and every rule had just been broken. On the 13th day came the Teravin, the final rite, the ceremony that releases the soul and sends it onward in peace. Priests were brought from 3 villages. The sacred fire was lit in the great courtyard. The mantras began. The ghee was poured. And at the exact moment the head priest spoke the words of release, every lamp in the haveli, 40 rooms of them, went out at once. There was no wind that night. The men relit the sacred fire with shaking hands, and it was then that the youngest priest looked down and stopped chanting mid-syllable. Pressed into the cold ash at the fire's edge, perfectly formed, were footprints, small ones, a child's. The head priest stared at them for a long time. Then he gathered his instruments and left the village in the dark and never returned, because the Teravin exists to send souls away from this world, and the small footprints in the ash were not walking away from the house. Part 2 of The Zamindar's Daughter ends here. Part 3, The Reckoning, returns in 2 days. Subscribe to the Horror Chronicles so it finds you. They were walking in. Sleep well, if you can.